The question reads graph. You're given the rational function, and before I do anything else, I'm going to factor and see if I can simplify. So x minus 2 times x plus 1, because I need factors of 2 that if I subtract will give me a negative 1. And x plus 3 times the quantity x minus 2. Looking at this question, my x plus 2's will cancel, leaving me with x plus 1 over x plus 3. This also tells me I will have a hole in my question when I get to that part. First thing I want to know is if I have symmetry. To find symmetry, I will plug in f of negative x. So the opposite of x, quantity squared, minus the opposite of x, minus 2, over the opposite of x, quantity squared, plus the opposite of x, minus 6. This gives me an x squared plus x minus 2 over x squared minus x minus 6. This is not the original question, nor is all my signs changed, so I have no symmetry. I'm going to look for any x-intercepts I may have. See if I have at least one. I'll take my numerator, and I'm taking the simplified numerator because my x minus 2 canceled. So x plus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to a negative 1. So my x-intercept is x is negative 1 or negative 1, 0. Going to look for my y-intercept, if I have one. And I should. I will plug in f of 0. And I'm going to plug into the simplified one because it's just easier to work with. So 0 plus 1 over 0 plus 3 gives me a positive 1/3. So I have a y-intercept of 0, 1/3. If you took the original question, you'd have 2 over 6, which is also 1/3. So it works out the same either way you go. I also need to find my vertical asymptote. I only have one here. To find the vertical asymptote, I take my simplified denominator, set it equal to 0. So x plus 3 is equal to 0. So x is equal to a negative 3. So I have a vertical asymptote at x is negative 3. I need to find my horizontal asymptote. So I need to use my rules for my powers to find out what's going on there. The numerator's power is 2. My denominator's degree is 2. So they are equal. So I have a horizontal asymptote of y is equal to 1, which is 1 over 1. I also have to take care of that hole that I know I have this time. Since my x minus 2 canceled out, I know my x is equal to a positive 2. If I plug in f of 2, I'll take the simplified form. That gives me 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 3. So I have 3/5. So I have a hole at the point 2 3/5. I'm going to plot what I have already found, all this, to see what my graph tells me so I know what numbers I may need to pick to graph this out and be finished. So I have no symmetry. It's kind of depressing, but I have no symmetry. I have an x-intercept at -1, 0, so right about there. I have a y-intercept at 0 and 1/3, so right about there. I have a vertical asymptote at x is -3, 1, 2, 3, so I'll make a dotted line because it's not part of my graph, it's undefined there. But we want to know what line we can't touch or cross. We have a horizontal asymptote at y is 1. So I will make a dashed line at y is 1 because that's my horizontal asymptote. And I also have a hole at the point 2 3/5. So it's about 0.6. So I'll say about there. And it's open because it's not actually anything there. That's all I have for this graph. So I need to find points less than -3 and greater than -3 to finish this graph off. So I'm going to pick the points. Let's see. Let's start off with -10 just to get a nice gauge. This gives me about 1.29. F of -9 gives me about 1.33. F of -8 gives me about 1.4. F of -7 gives me about 1.5. F of -6 gives me about 1.67. F of -5 gives me 2. F of -4, which is the last one I can do, gives me about 3. So I'm going to plot those points on my graph. So -10 is about 1.29. We'll say right about there. -9 is about 1.33. -8 is about 1.4. -7 is about 1.5. -6 about 1.67. -5 is 2. -4 is 3. I think we can kind of see that my graph is going to shoot off to infinity at my vertical asymptote. And that's going to do something like that. We'll stay there. That's just this part of the graph there. That's what it looks like. Now I got to do everything or something greater than -3. So I'm going to take f of -2. Gives me a -1. I don't need to do a -1 because -1 is my x-intercept. I don't have to do 0 because 0 is my y-intercept. So I'll do f of 1. Gives me about half, 0.5. I have a hole at 2. So let's do f of 3. Have 0.67. Do f of 4. 0.71. F of 5. 0.75. F of 6 going to give me 0.78. F of 7 is going to give me about 0.8. And I don't think you're going to see much difference from there. So I'm just going to plot those points and connect my dots. So f of -2 is a -1. So we're staying about here. Come up to about half here. That's my 0.6 there. 0.67 is about here. 0.71 about there. 0.75 is about there. 0.78 is about there. 0.8 is about there. And I literally just was tired of putting numbers in. That's an open circle there. So we don't want to go through that open circle. Skip over it. And this shoots down to -infinity. And the open circle shouldn't have anything inside of it. That's my hole.